I think that's too soon. I think I need to um hit that first. We're gonna we're live on the YouTubes.
We're live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube. We do need to tweet though, and now we're live on stream. So now what? 2015, Trump said, "Hey, if the Dow goes down 1,000 in a day, president should resign." Um, you know, Trump has said a lot of things during other people's presidencies that I've come to agree with that he seems to not agree with. Have you noticed that lately, Brian? That Trump seems to talk a lot of smack about other presidents, but he is not holding himself to the same standard that he was holding predecessors to.
My name is Tiffany.
Yeah.
Let's
see if I can find it.
We'll go ahead and send a tweet out here, and then we'll get started momentarily. But let's see. Show starting now. YouTube link. Radio.com. There we go. Oh, and I guess I should actually sign into the right Skype so that Venison can call in. So let's yeah. You know, it would have been helpful if I did that like before I connected to the stream. Let's see if Skype actually. Skype likes to find new ways to not work right. Oh no, that was completely wrong. There we go. I should bring up the theme music now. Is what I should do. But no, we got a show planned for you. We got topics. We got to talk about the big game, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was I think there was some kind of a game yesterday. I seem to recall. And
were they curling?
Curling, yes.
Yes,
that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
But, there was a hashtag boycott NFL Super Bowl. I said because number one,
because
your team lost.
Yeah,
and didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then the second one is because you prefer curling.
Yeah. Curling. I like watching curling. I'm looking forward.
It's cool. It's so technical.
I'm looking forward to the Olympics so I could watch them curling.
And I noticed one of the promos for the Olympics during the Super Bowl there was one little spot where they showed curling. So it will be there. Yay!
Well, I know here they had a commercial for a furniture store where they showed the guys that work at the furniture store curling with a lazy boy chair. Like they were sliding a lazy boy chair on the ice and getting in front of the lazy boy chair with the broom to sweep. But anyways,
cool.
We are here with Timeout with Gators and Brian, and Venison might be around at some point.
Hopefully,
unless he's been removed forcibly from his residence. I don't completely get what happened there. Maybe Venison's got some more details this week. He's always been pretty open about that, so it's okay to talk about these things, I think.
Yeah, it kind of freaks me out. It's like, what the hell?
Well, here's the thing I know. I know that if you stop paying taxes on a piece of property that you own for a certain number of years, at some point the end result is not owning the home anymore. I just don't know what the process is that gets you there.
Yeah.
And you would think that like someone would show up at multiple points throughout that process, because what From Venison told us, someone I guess had the lien against the house, but having the lien against the house is not the same thing as owning the house, right?
Correct.
I mean, the way my dad explained it to me is that someone could have a lien against the house, which means that in the event that you do sell the house, you owe that person.
They can jump in and get what they're owed.
Right. Yeah. Which I don't fully understand that process, because the way I understood it was that basically someone's saying, I'll pay their tax bill and then they'll owe me money. Why would anyone do that? Like, I'll pay this now and then get it back. Is there interest on that? But speaking of interesting things, here's Venison on the line.
Hey, man.
Okay, just to put a couple things in perspective here. Curling.
Yes, curling.
I'll just use a quote from Boomer TV show. You're grounded, mister, for trying to make curling interesting.
Hey, curling is interesting. There's no trying about
totally interesting. But that's funny. That's funny, Venison.
But not as a contact sport.
It doesn't. The stones contact one another. There is plenty of contact in curling.
Yes.
No, but
actually, the thing is, I find interesting is that the guy with the broom works really hard not to touch the stone, so it's like a non-contact sport.
But the stones are contacting the other stones because the whole idea is to knock your stones in the middle and knock other the opponent's stones out of the way. And there's a whole lot of strategizing that goes into that.
Absolutely.
And that, there's some, knocking things around and things hitting other things happening in strategic ways.
The other thing that's cool.
But hitting opponents in the head with the broom and tripping them, that's not quite kosher.
If you want to watch hockey, watch hockey.
Yes, that's right. That would be hockey.
Yeah, they try. You try to turn it into hockey.
You go ahead. You watch your hockey. I'll watch my curling. I sometimes.
And it seemed like when I first started watching curling, the guy that threw the stone would wear skates, and then the guy with the broom is just walking on the ice and doing the whole, broom thing.
What's great is
but now I see that they both apparently wear the same type of special shoe, and there's like a flap that they turn that I think gives them better grip. And when you're doing the stone, you don't want that grip, so you take that flap off. I think. I'm not sure.
I like watching the like Swedish and Finnish teams curling because they're all talking to each other and communicating a whole lot. You can't understand a word they're saying, and boy, they talk funny, and that's great fun for all. So that's my recommendation for the Olympics is to watch some Swedish and Finnish curling. So now, Venison, what's the home update?
Well, I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
First, my take, a little bit of my take on the Super Bowl, which was rather interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Philadelphia didn't stand a chance. That city was going to burn no matter what.
What was it?
Well, hey, if we're going to talk about the ball game.
Oh, yeah. Eagles win.
Yes.
And an eagle attacked Trump during the campaign. Irony or prophecy or destiny? You decide.
That's a thought.
And about that thing about violence and Billy. Yeah, I like that one tweet. I retweeted it. Eagles lose the Super Bowl. Fans angrily. Let's fuck this town up. No survivors. Eagles win Super Bowl. Fans joyously. Let's fuck this town up. No survivors.
Exactly. That's exactly. Philadelphia didn't stand a chance. Shit going down no matter what.
The question is, it's certainly dark in Philly now. What's happening? Or does that celebration start later?
It's probably hangover time now.
Nope. Celebrations went on last night, and celebrations are still going on today.
But no violence, no cars on fire, none upside down, no cops killed.
That's the thing. Somebody tried to post memes saying that Philadelphia is on fire. Now, according to Eyewitness News, who seems to be on scene to a lot of this shit, there was nothing of that going on. Just a bunch of people down the street yelling and cheering.
Well, maybe fake news is suppressing it.
It's hashtag fake news.
How would they suppress something like that?
Well, just not cover it.
All over that shit.
No, they would just not cover it.
That's not a fire. That's a street lamp.
That's correct. But so you go to CNN, Fake News Central. They're not covering it. You flip over to Fox, see if they're covering it. Maybe their fake news department says we don't want to cover it either.
I switched over to Fox. They declared Trump the winner of the Super Bowl because
there you go.
He had the electoral touchdowns. You see,
yes, and that's what it was.
So I knew I could
miss that.
Yeah, electoral touchdowns. The fuck.
Well, that's just it. You better, believe him, and you better clap to him, or you'll be a traitor.
I forget what state it was, but apparently some state, had redistricted, and the Republican says, no, this isn't right. Went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court says, no, we're going to let that redistricting stand.
Interesting. Okay. What was?
I don't know what state it was. Pennsylvania, maybe. I'm not sure.
What was the objection to the redistricting?
Hey, I was only reading headlines.
Yeah. Well, because gerrymandering is a serious problem. I mean, it's
sure.
I mean, the fact that the popular vote goes to the Democrats, and yet the GOP continues to control the House. Just shows how fucked up the GOP have gerrymandered the hell out of this country, and that to me is traitorous to not allow proper representation, all in the name of
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. No. The GOP is
make you want to go to the Secretary of State office and say, hey, you know what? I've been living in this house for 20 years. Can we pull up my voter registration papers? Because I don't want to vote for either party that's corrupt. So why bother voting?
You better
unregister me.
No, you better vote because of the fact that all these people that ended up not voting because they couldn't get their way by getting their candidate in, now we're stuck with him. It's your fault, for all you say, why bother voting? Now you see why.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's a reason to vote, sure.
It was an absolute corrupt disaster that Hillary got the nomination when Bernie was the more popular candidate.
But Bernie didn't get the votes, period.
Hillary only got the nomination.
Got the votes.
No, Hillary had the superdelegates. The superdelegates did not at all follow the will of the people that they were representing. The superdelegates promised it all to Hillary, and they handed it over to her. Bernie should have had the nomination.
But he didn't have the votes.
Oh, he would have beat Trump.
No, I don't think so.
I think
if forget about the super delegates, you'd have to prove to me that she would have had enough delegates that would have voted for Bernie to get the nomination. I don't think that was going to happen.
Bernie had the delegates. If the super delegates didn't,
I don't believe it. You're going to have to show me numbers. We don't have to discuss it here, but show me the numbers sometime. Work it out.
Like I said, the only reason that Trump won with 37% of the votes, a low turnout, one of the lowest for a presidential election, was because those people who were going to vote for Bernie Sanders said, fuck this, I'm not voting at all. That's close to 60%.
Sure.
Hillary had 602 of the superdelegates versus Bernie's 48.
That means she lost. He lost.
But the super delegates should not be allowed to. The margin of super delegates that went to Clinton was ridiculous compared to Sanders. And that momentum.
Well, so the Democratic Party should change their process completely.
Yes.
Get rid of super delegates.
Let me tell you
that. Actually make it so that you actually elect your nominee.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though, is that Clinton had
how many primary votes did each get? Primary votes in states that had primaries.
Here's the thing: is I'm not sure. All right, so there's 4,051 delegates and 712 super delegates for a total of 4,763, which means that you need 2,382. Clinton had 2,205 without super delegates. Sanders had 1,846. So there was a gap there.
I don't even know what a super delegate is.
Super delegates are people that are insiders of the party that are allowed to vote for whoever they want to, no matter what their state is doing.
And generally, they're stacked up. They're stacked by the party. And the party thought that Hillary should have been the candidate.
Right. So the party stacked the super
regardless
delegates.
of where they stood, how are they being voted for, etc.
I think it goes back to McGovern, right? Because McGovern lost to Nixon in a landslide, and the party felt like, well, we had the wrong candidate. How could we have let this happen? Well, we trusted the people to pick a candidate, and they picked wrong. So we need to have influence within the party to,
See, the problem with that is the Democrats failed to back their candidate. They should have done a much better job selling McGovern as the better candidate, because he did look like a loser.
I wasn't around then,
but
so
they didn't push the idea that he was a veteran war hero from World War II. And talked about the missions that he went on, because the casualty rate for his unit was extremely high. One of the worst casualty rates of any unit, other than General Armstrong Custer, where everybody got wiped
you're
out.
getting into areas of history I'm not familiar with politically. I just know that McGovern lost and
sure, but they should have used his military history.
Okay, that's
background as part of it. Say, look, but then again, veterans were not popular. Veterans were not popular back then.
I think the argument now the argument you're making is that Sanders didn't have the delegates. I mean, looking at these numbers, yeah, there's a much larger gap in the super delegates than there are in the delegates, which suggests that there's some shady business going on there. But
sure.
Take the super delegates out of it, you still have 2,205 for Clinton versus 1,846 for Sanders. So even without the super delegates, Clinton's still taking the lead. However,
go ahead.
However, I think Clinton had an unfair advantage in that the super delegates were already pledging to her, so there was already a vibe of she's the candidate even before she won.
So then you would have to go to all of the states that had primaries and count up the individual votes. It
wasn't a level playing field between it not being a level playing field, and between the super delegates backing Clinton way more than she deserved.
Right.
It really stunk of corruption, even though Clinton still would have won.
Of course, I have no doubt about it, and I agree. But someplace you've got to say, okay, how would we make it so that Bernie would have won? Move it so that all states actually do have primaries where individuals make the votes.
Right. Get rid of the super delegates.
Be able to show that he gets the votes.
Here's the thing. We should have gotten rid of the super delegates by this point already, because the super delegates were already a talking point in the primaries between Obama and Hillary. Because I remember I remember having a conversation about, like, who do we think is going to get it? McCain or Obama or Hillary? Because Obama and Hillary were duking it out to the bitter end. not one of them was conceding, and it was making the Democratic Party look weak. And it was, I think the concern is that this was going to help the Republicans, because generally you want to earlier on get behind your candidate. And my dad made I said, I think Obama's got it, even though it was still questionable if it was going to be Obama or Hillary. I said, I'm pulling for Obama. I think he's got it. And my dad goes, I think the Democrats have, ruined a perfectly good opportunity for an easy win with this whole Hillary Obama thing. And, I said, I think Obama still got it. And I called that one right. But yeah, that was already an issue. There was already the issue of the super delegates and who are these people and why did these 712 people get a vote independent of the rest of the country? Who are they? Why do they get that? And so already people were pissy about that and wanted them gone. And 8 years go by, nothing's done about it. And here we are more than a year later. Has there been anything done about this?
No.
Next time around, we're going to have more superdelegates. Is Bernie going to run again? Because he's not going to have the superdelegates behind him if he runs again. And then we're going to have him versus whatever establishment candidate because, we need to fucking get rid of these superdelegates.
Well, the thing is, Hillary should be done. Should be out of it completely.
Well, yeah, she's gone. She's not going to run again.
And I think Bernie should get out of it as well. Find somebody younger and dynamic, like what's his name, Joe Kennedy.
Kennedy's good. You know what? My Emily and I usually have a standing agreement not to talk politics. Emily, I guess the stress got to her, and she's made the mistake of talking politics.
But who you talk to.
Well, here's the thing: Joe Kennedy, he's my representative. That guy represents me. So
cool.
I'm already following him on Twitter and liking everything he says, and it's like, hey, you are saying all the stuff I want you to be saying. Keep up the good work, and I will keep voting for you, no problem. And so he was called on to offer the rebuttal to Trump's, state of the dysfunction, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And Emily was very critical about that because, she participates in forums of people that live out in these sticks, middle of nowhere towns that feel like the whole system just ignores them. And here's Trump who's actually talking to them. I mean, that's a big thing is, Trump's lying through his teeth and is absolutely doing horrible things that are not going to benefit them at all. But he paid attention to them and told them the song and dance they want to hear. And they ate it all up. And that's what's happening. And so Emily's like, the Democrats still don't get it. Who do they throw up there? Some relative of another former president that, comes from one of these families that just, has it handed to them, or, so she kind of feels like, Kennedy is exactly the wrong thing that the Democrats should be embracing. Being that here we go, another relative of a former president, another one of these, dynasty families or whatever term. And I was like, I like him. I like what he's saying. And I would like to see him run, but oh my God, she makes a good point there. That could work against him. But I mean, that's the big argument against us is that we're like these, we're elite. That whole, like, we're out of touch with the real America.
Speaking of elite,
that's the thing we got to fight against. That's the thing we need to, not fight. I mean, that's the thing we need to get past somehow.
Obama caused the stock market crash.
Really?
That's what we're trying to say.
Really? Yeah. Really?
It's his fault.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, Obama caused it.
Oh yeah, I buy that.
Oh yeah.
The guy that was president over a year ago. It's his fault.
Right.
Well, I mean, Trump.
So far, it's only erased about a month and a half of gains. My favorite is that one of the guys that follows the stock market, publishes an online magazine, basically said, so this. How the hell did he say it? I'll have to look it up. Go ahead.
Oh, anyways, well, a lot of things people might say. There was a tweet that I absolutely love because a comment you hear is like, "Hey, my 401k is doing great," and this guy said, the people talking about how the 401k is doing great under Trump is kind of like reminds me of the saying, "Hey, say what you will, but who was that tyrant that but at least the trains ran on time."
Right.
Yeah.
Here's this guy's line. Welcome to the sucker rally. As he's watching the stock market go down.
Say what you will about Mussolini, but the trains always ran on time. That's kind of like, say what you will about Trump, but my 401k is looking great. Yeah. That's I think that's a perfect analogy. It's
yeah. Even I will say months ago, the stock market was too high to sustain itself. It's going to crash sooner or later.
Yeah.
And it did. And it could get worse.
I don't know. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see what happens over the next week. Heck, I'm not cheering on a stock market crash. Go, make Trump look bad. I'm not rooting for the failure of the country. I'm looking to survive this and get the guy the fuck out of here.
Well, we did already.
Prison while we're at it, maybe.
Well, see, here's the thing. So the stock market was going up because the tax rate was going down, right?
That was the theory.
That's the theory. But the bottom line is the stock market runs on earnings of the company. Yeah, the tax cut will help, but if you ain't earning, you're shit. Okay.
The stock market
Apple going down
before the tax cut. So I can't see that. I can't even see that coming into play. Sure, it might have came into play, as the tipping, as the tip, other than the tip of services, but that's not that wasn't a reason.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, but also it comes down to earnings, and not current earnings, but future earnings. So one of the big players there was Apple stock, and Apple stock is going down because there's some nervousness that Apple can't sustain that growth that they've been enjoying for a decade.
I mean, what do they got? I mean, they
got the iPhone that goes for $1,000 frickin'.
Yeah, people are paying for that.
People are saying, wait a second, there are plenty of other good phones out there that are not that expensive.
And you know what? Those other phones out there that are not that expensive, they come with headphone jacks.
Don't take away my headphone jack.
All those headphones you have that had cables on them that work perfectly great and you don't have any problem with. And
you can get a dongle. You can get a dongle.
Yeah. Yeah. You know where you can put that dongle?
Yes.
Nowhere. Lost.
Oh.
Dongle.
Where did I put that darn dongle?
A Samsung Galaxy ad that was making fun of the various things about Apple.
Oh yeah,
including they showed that dangle the dongle. And,
yes.
Right. I mean, hey, Apple, wake the fuck up.
Yeah. They're big.
In fact, I found it interesting. People are bitching about a headphone jack, blah 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 blah, and ignoring the fact that it's 60% faster. That the lowest size you could get is 50 cents. In other words, they dropped the 60. I think it's the 64 gig size. The smallest size they dropped.
Right.
And which means if you've got an old one, it will appear slow.
Well, that they make them slow down.
And that little bombshell sucks.
Yeah.
I'm using a headphone jack.
Yeah. You know, there's an online do-it-yourself guide that shows you all you have to do is get yourself a drill with the right size drill bit, and you can make your own headphone jack right in the iPhone.
Yeah.
I saw it on the internet, so
it must be true, and it must work.
Oh, it certainly puts a place to put the headphones.
And, hey, everything on the internet, exactly why my RetroPie sound works. Oh, wait a minute, it doesn't.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, about that.
Using the internet as a guide.
Yeah.
Anyways,
again.
So as we were saying earlier in the show, before we got sidetracked with this whole political thing, maybe do a little tune back in at some point. But yeah, there was the big game yesterday. Did you watch the big game, Venison?
Actually, no. I was too busy watching Lego movies.
Oh, you missed the Puppy Bowl?
And the Kitten Bowl?
Have cable.
Well, they stream that shit now, right?
Dude.
I watched it on my Roku, but I had to connect it with my Comcast account. So, anyways, what you can just leech off your neighbors. Do your neighbors have your neighbors have cable? So they probably have a username or password. And if you got a Roku stick, oh wait. So Brian, what about you?
Let's stick with the Puppy Bowl / Kitten Bowl. This is an opportunity that all the pet stores have missed.
Yeah.
You want to see the game and you don't have a good TV, go to a sports bar. If you want to watch the Kitten Bowl and the Puppy Bowl, go to your local pet store and watch it there.
Yeah.
But I had cable. I like the Puppy Bowl. It was cute.
Oh yeah, I watch it every year. To me, that's the game. It's Puppy Bowl Sunday, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, did they get rid of Bud Bowl?
Yeah. Oh, that's been gone for years.
Oh, it has.
Yeah, okay. But the commercial.
That's why I didn't see it.
But the commercials, I didn't see the commercials
during the Super Bowl.
Oh,
yeah.
Why'd you miss it?
The Super Bowl commercials. The greatest commercials ever put on TV.
Oh yeah, there's been some great classics over the years.
Sure. Oh yeah. There were some decent ones this time. They're creative.
Yeah, and I missed some.
What the hell? Jack versus Martha?
Huh?
Jack from Jack in the Box versus Martha Stewart.
Oh,
that is bizarre.
I don't know if that ran on this coast or not because we don't have Jack in the Box. That might have been regional.
Oh, really?
I saw
Interesting.
tweets about it, but I haven't actually seen it.
Yeah, so I saw one ad. It was strange. Jax goes into Martha Stewart's kitchen, starts to talk about stuff, talks about her trash talking fast food. We're not fast food, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I brought one up. So we got to check this out now.
Screen share.
Yeah, we're gonna bring this up here, see what the deal is with Martha Stewart and Jack.
And there you have it. A beautiful banh mi inspired fried chicken sandwich. You'd never find this at a fast food restaurant. It's a good thing.
Oh, is that right, Martha?
Sir?
I don't think so. Hey, Martha. My new food truck series has an Asian fried chicken sandwich made with crispy fried chicken strips, crunchy Asian slaw, and a gochujang mayo, all on a toasted baguette. And I'll put it up against yours any day.
Security, get him!
What, are you afraid somebody in the fast food world's going to show you up? Whatever she's paying, I'll pay you double.
Wait. You want to go to war with me, Jack?
What are you going to do? Tuck me into bed and read me a cookbook? Oh my gosh, what?
Popped his nose off.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties.
Here, let me fix it.
She puts it back on.
So, you going to try the sandwich, Martha?
Get him out of here.
Okay, it's on, Martha. I'm going online. I'm starting a hashtag. Get ready for a Twitter war.
Bye, Jack.
Boy.
Yeah, so that's the one I saw. I think there are others, but that's the one that I saw.
Yeah. I don't see a continuation of that yet. That's the only Martha one I see.
They'll see what popularity it has, then they'll decide.
Whether they continue, sure. No, that's the way it works. Absolutely. But that was amusing. Amusing.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it does ask the question, why? It's funny.
Because people are talking about it.
Sure. Exactly. We talked about it.
But what I caught, which we watched on the Dune and Bob show yesterday, was the Danny DeVito M&M commercial.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Oh, I've had 3 people try to eat me today. 3. Ooh, lucky penny. Anyway, sometimes I wish I were human.
Whoa! Look at me. I'm human. Do you want to eat me?
No.
Do you want to eat me?
No, thanks.
No? Would you like to eat me? Nobody wants to eat me. I'm the luckiest.
You dropped your lucky penny.
Man, I look good.
You're still short and bald.
I've had 3 people try to eat me today.
Okay, that's we don't need to run it a second time. So that was that one. That was great. Which is funny.
It was funny.
You know what's funny is
but it was funny.
I was expecting a sexual harassment lawsuit or something.
Yeah. My brother's got a little internet radio. No, I have the internet radio. My brother's got a little YouTube show with his friend Dan. Can you guess which one's my brother?
The guy that's bald.
Yeah. He's it's console wars. One of them's Nintendo, one of them's Sega, and Sega writes the script, and somehow Sega wins most of the episodes. I'm not saying this.
That's cheating.
That's what I think.
I'm Nintendo.
And I'm Sega.
This is Console War!
So they reviewed the Cool Spot game. And you got to watch the episode because basically they're doing this whole thing where they come up with a reason to compare the 2 versions of the game.
Are you going to tweet that for our Twitter friends?
Yeah, we could totally tweet that for our Twitter friends. Let me go ahead and send a tweet right now. Here's the Console Wars episode we are discussing. Link. And there it is. And see, and they'll have puppets and things like that on the show. And so they had actual Cool Spot stop by their place. And so.
Whoa, is that Cool Spot?
What are you doing here?
Oh, I go from town to town, help people like me be cool. I also make sure people have plenty of 7-Up.
We're good. We have plenty of Sprite.
Huh? What'd you say?
We have plenty of beer. So how can we be?
So, anyways, this leads into them reviewing the game and comparing the differences between the Super Nintendo and Sega version of the game.
Whoa!
And at the end, they notice that there's something a little off about their Cool Spot friend. And let's see if I can get to that point here. Here we go.
Hey, you guys know what else is cool? What? That wasn't me. That was the chair.
I don't think this guy is that cool.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
Check out his chest. This isn't the time to be checking him out. Checking him out. I'm not checking him out. Look at his chest. Something weird is happening.
Oh, yeah. What do you think that is?
Not sure. I have an idea. Keep him talking.
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom.
So, knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana? Banana who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana again? Seriously?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who? Hey, what are you doing?
Me? I was gonna, yoink.
I can explain. It's a tattoo. I like men.
You're an M&M.
Why'd you lie to us?
I wanted to be your friend. I didn't think you wanted to be friends with a lame M&M. So I lied.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, M&Ms are cool. Really? You think so?
Most definitely.
We'll totally be friends. You guys just made me so happy. You really are the best, you know? Wow.
So that's a happy ending.
So what do we do now?
The M&M is
Do
cool.
what friends do.
And hang out.
Cool.
We're all
Let's
friends.
hang out.
I don't remember my brother's house looking like that the last time I visited it.
Yeah. Guys, just a curious thing.
Well, wait.
When you went there and said, the word disgusting, and you were talking about something being disgusting, I sprang up Twitter again and hit the refresh, and this phrase came up. Just as you said it, I ended up reading, "This is disgusting."
Nice.
And you both, I read it and you said it at the exact same time.
Interesting. Anyways, so they all decide they're going to be friends, and the M&M and Super Nintendo and Sega, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Oh, wait. I think there's a little bit more left of this episode.
So, yeah, I feel pretty bad.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't have told us that he was an M&M.
Let's never talk about this again.
Agreed. I really need to wash this chocolate off.
Chocolate?
Thanks for checking out our latest video.
So there you go. Which was perfect, because the M&M walking around, glad to be human because no one wants to eat him. And here, just, a week earlier, my brother and his friend put out a YouTube episode all about eating a live M&M that they were going to be friends with. So
they did eat him.
They did eat him. Yes. No, it's great. The YouTube, they're covered in chocolate. Like, yes, they ate their friend. So yeah, check out Console
So what happened
Wars.
to melts in your mouth and not on your face?
Well, you have to ham it up with a guy. I mean, that was totally, there's a bunch of Hershey syrup on their face, I think.
Yeah.
No, you eat an M&M that big, you're going to get some chocolate on you.
Yeah.
Sir Mars writes in, warning. And the alert disappeared, so I had to actually pull up the tweet if I'm going to read it properly. Warning, just to give you a heads up, Venison 88 is old.
Brian's older than me.
Yeah, that's right, man.
By like 5 minutes.
That's right. I'm like second fiddle here.
Brian's older than me.
And my Echo Dot activated on that line for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't say the name.
No, you didn't. What was the deal about? Did she lose her voice or something? I heard something about her losing her voice.
Yeah. That was bizarre. And then they got all these other people acting like they're, doing Alexa voice.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one yet, so let's watch that one really quick, and then we'll try to talk about some favorites of the Super Bowls gone by.
In Austin, it's 60 degrees with a Alexa?
Amazon's Alexa lost her voice this morning, causing a
Alexa lost her voice. How is that even possible?
We have the replacements ready. Just say the word.
And you're sure this is going to work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alexa, show me a recipe for a grilled cheese sandwich.
Pathetic. You're 32 years of age and you don't know how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Its name is the recipe, you.
Alexa, how far is Mars?
How far is Mars? Well, how am I supposed to know? I've never been there. This guy want to go to Mars. For what? There's not even oxygen there.
Alexa, set the mood.
Now setting the mood. You're in the bush and you're just so dirty and you're so sweaty because it's hot in that bush.
Alexa, reboot.
Alexa, play some country music.
I don't dance now. I make money moves.
No, Alexa, country music.
I be in and out them banks so much I know they tired of me.
What's the call, Brandon?
I'm afraid Brandon is a little tied up. But do let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Jessica?
Nobody
Good boy.
Thanks, guys, but I'll take it from here.
All right. So I guess that was
weird one.
That was weird. That was weird.
But it was funny.
That's
I mean, I like some of the ideas in there. The woman in the tub.
Yeah. No, that was great. In the bush.
You know where she's from? You know who that is?
That's someone from the bush.
No. She was on the the singing movies. What are they called? My mind went. See, I'm old. That's my excuse.
Yeah, you are.
And they just came out with a third one of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You might know what I'm laughing at.
Well,
I think you might find this interesting. Apparently, there's a Twitter account called USA Gov Googles, and it just said, and the account is Trump just Googled. Is the stock market dropped because of Obama?
Nice.
The movie Perfect Pitch.
Perfect. Okay. Well, another Super Bowl classic commercial, the Budweiser Was Up commercials. You remember the Was Up?
You know, the best part of this defense is their defensive line and their interior
Hello?
linebackers.
Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. What's up? What's up? Yo, who's that? Yo, you pick up the phone. Hello? What's that? What's up?
Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Dookie. Yo.
What's up?
What's that?
Hold on. Hello?
So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud.
There we go. Classic.
True.
Of course, the real reason I brought that one up was because I wanted to bring up my favorite parody of that, the 2001 Super Bowl.
This is Brett.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Just watching the market recap, drinking an import.
That is correct. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Hey, Brett, who's that?
Hey, Chad, pick up the cordless. Chad here.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Classic.
I know the whole "what's up" thing. I thought was stupid.
What's going on here, folks? Christians are extinct like the dinosaurs.
Hey, we got someone on the line here. Hello there.
Yes. You have the leader of the former Jehovah's Witness movement in your midst.
We do. Now, you're still alive?
Yes, very well. In health, I am.
Now, if I understand correctly, what is it? 144 people get to go to heaven, and or 144,000. There's some discrepancy here within the Jehovah's Witness movement.
Oh, my child of wrath! There's only 10,000 left. Get it together. Get the number right. It's only 10,000.
Only 10,000 left. Okay.
Yes, my child.
That's I think that's a lot smaller number than the membership of the Jehovah's Witness movement, though. So
they're an infestation like cockroaches. They have like 10 million people giving them money.
I see. So what brings you here this week?
Well, first of all, where could I find this footage when I want to watch it later?
Footage of what? The show?
It says that we're live, but I did not find it on the man that tweeted the Hangouts link.
Yeah, this is live. This is live right now.
Yes.
Real quick,
Did I post the wrong link?
a real quick interruption here.
Yes.
Sir Morris, fuck you. I'll pop a cap in your fucking ass.
I ain't scared of you. I'll debate you for 5 hours if I have to.
You'll debate. What are we going to debate about?
Jesus, the baby killer.
Really? Oh.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with that chapter.
The man that posted the link is a religious man because I went to his YouTube account.
I see. And tell who posted the link?
I have no idea. It was one of you two.
Wait a minute. Jesus is a baby killer?
Yes, he's worse than Darth Vader, killing younglings.
I see what happened
about
here.
His father?
This
who
is
did it back in Egypt.
This is a fortunate mistake here. I meant to post the YouTube viewing link, and I post the join the room link, and we.
Yes, I was trying to search the viewers link.
Okay, I will post that link. But you are welcome to stay here. Anyone else?
Well, you have to debate me a little bit. Come on now, don't be chickens.
Okay, well, what is the debate topic? What are we? I still am not quite sure what I'm supposed to debate.
Yes, Jesus is a scumbag. His father is holy. He has never touched a soul.
Oh, that whole bit back in Egypt with Moses. Oh yeah, that was a real good one. Kill all the firstborn. You know, start a plague of frogs.
Old Testament God did a whole lot of killing in his time, and it was pretty gruesome at times, as I understand it.
Yeah, look at Noah.
Yeah.
He destroyed the whole planet except for one boat.
Yeah, you like water? Here, have a whole bunch.
Why did Noah bring on like 2 mosquitoes? What the fuck was that about?
How long can you tread water?
Yeah, well, where did the termite?
My Android is old. It booted me.
I see.
I was telling that gent that his father is a holy roly-poly. He doesn't get his hands dirty with shedding innocent blood. He sends Jesus to do it, Old Testament and New Testament.
Jesus wasn't even born yet.
I don't remember the chapters about Jesus in the Old Testament, but it has been.
Oh my God. Use your brain. Jesus is from heaven. What do you think he was doing in the Old Testament?
I never thought of that. That could be a valid point. Maybe there was.
Do you not know that Jesus is the maker? Do you not know that he's the clone of the baby killer Jehovah?
That's wow. I need to read up on my Jehovah's Witness.
No. You will not get this information from Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm an upgrade. I'm an awakened JW, you see.
Oh, this is a new movement of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes. But even that movement has shunned me.
Now,
Jehovah's.
Now, do you still do the door-to-door with the pamphlets thing?
No. I try to hijack Hangouts. That's what I do now.
I see. To spread the
door-to-door is dangerous. I do not want to cap in my ass.
So what's your goal here? To recruit membership or to dissuade people from joining?
Radical.
I'm here to try to turn you knuckleheads away from the Christ. I reject the lamb of the blood of the lamb.
So this is kind of the devil worshiper cult of Jehovah Witnesses.
No. The devil's a pussy. He will not join me. I'm too radical for him.
I see. So it sounds like you're not looking for heaven as a destination, nor hell. Where is the destination here?
I am returning where Adam is. I'm returning to the ground.
Where is Ulster Eagle when you need him?
Okay. Ground. Yeah, that is a place. That could work. Well, like an underground type of city is we're going to all strive to end up?
No, I will be annihilated. No possible resurrection.
The hollow earth theory.
No, annihilation. So that means non-existence. So you're looking to just end existence.
There is no purpose to life. We all feel empty.
And then we feel nothing because we're annihilated.
Just like before we were born, we did not feel anything. We return to that, we do, but we don't return to the stomach of our mothers.
Yeah, that would be a challenge. Brian, do you have anything you want to chime in here with?
Brian, yes, Brian, don't be a pussy.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I wouldn't be a pussy. You're just trying to suck it all in here.
Well, what's the explanation of ghosts?
Ghosts, yeah, where do ghosts come from?
That's all made up. You ever heard of spirit mediums? They could create any personality that has ever lived on this planet.
Never mind about the mediums. The people who experience them.
Yes.
We'll call
There's
it ghost
chaos in the spirit realm. I guess Satan cannot control his people.
Now, what about near-death experiences?
That's all a delusion by these nuts. They all think they've seen the afterlife, but the afterlife is darkness, non-existence.
Then why do they say go toward the light?
Because they hit themselves in the head a little too hard, I think.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So annihilation, false visions. I think I'm getting the gist of this. So what does one do to become a member of your movement if they are enticed by this?
Well, I think that you have done all you can for me. You're giving me a platform, you see. What else can you do? I mean...
Well, I mean, people have heard your message, but they don't know what to do with it yet. Is there a...
They won't do a goddamn thing with it. I already asked 100 people to get me on Kindle Unlimited. Those bastards won't write my story, you see. I tried to get on Netflix.
And
why don't you write the story? Oh,
well,
he's gone?
Well, yeah, I think he tried to write the story and tried to post it to Amazon, and then his connection dropped. I think that was the issue.
See, Big Mikey was.
Okay.
But he's back.
I'm having technical difficulties here, but I was telling you that I want to get on Netflix as a documentary.
But
as a half comedic shunning
of
the devil.
You're saying other people should be writing your story. Why don't you write your story?
I am not a writer. I'm just a troll, you see.
Oh, a troll.
A troll.
Under a bridge. I eat little children at night.
Well,
just like my Nephilim relatives.
When you're eating the little children, there might be a few good writers here and there, so you might want to spare a few that...
I will agree that children are smarter than you two put together.
And besides that, eating little children, they're walking petri dishes. Do you know how many diseases you can get with them?
That's why the Nephilim were destroyed, because all they did was eat children.
I see. So we got to get someone to write your story. And what about YouTube? You can.
We got to make a documentary. That's what we got to do. We get on Netflix. That would be hit the social media sites.
But Netflix is a subscription service. YouTube is free. You get to a wider audience.
YouTube is a scam. They have blocked me 10 times in the last month. They're cowards. They are. No, they don't like hate speech.
What about RedTube? Have you tried RedTube? I think they are open to...
is that a Russian site? That's some JW stuff is on there.
I think it's a porn site, if I recall correctly.
Oh, no.
Yes, it is. Good stuff there.
Stay away from that.
You get a lot of people clicking on it by accident, that's for sure.
Yeah, sure.
So have you posted your live channel so I can watch it?
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. Tweet it, and I'll watch it, and I will devour it.
I have tweeted the new link, the real link.
Yes.
Go and view it. But you need to work on the story. and then maybe we could try to act it out in some kind of radio.
I am a truth seeker, but I will acknowledge that I have to lie a little bit based on a true story, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think we know what you mean.
Oh, now wait. Here's something. Do you agree with this? With this one message that came out, it says, repent. If you do any of the following, you are going straight to hell. If you are a Satan worshiper, a Grumpia builders, whatever that is, murderers, Twilight fans, model railroaders. What?
Model railroaders?
I don't believe in hell. That is a teaching of the Muslim. Those are evil creatures that made that up. You see, Muslims are evil. They worship that cunt Allah, if you know what I mean.
Now, do you believe that annihilation is the only way, or is that just the most desirable way? Is there any other afterlife options that you are...
Well, if you want to join Jesus in killing children for a living, go right ahead and join his military in heaven.
So our options are killing children with Jesus or non-existence, is what you're saying.
Yes, what do you choose? Jesus will say, I never knew you clowns.
On the one hand, I mean, killing children with Jesus makes for an interesting story around the dinner table. On the other hand, non-existence, that gets boring. That's a tough choice. I'm not. I'll have to think that one
over. Coexisting with her deadbeat Sky Daddy, Jehovah God. That man has more sins than I can count.
What do you think, Brian? Annihilation or killing children with Jesus?
I think there's probably more choices than just that.
You think he's leaving a few choices out?
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
I don't. I mean,
I don't think we've covered those yet.
Well, there are alternate universes, but can we get to those alternate universes?
Sure.
Well, you create your own reality, I guess, but you will be disappointed.
But I'm going to hell because I'm a rail fan, an anime fan, and a video gamer. But
yes, I will agree. We all have an imagination.
By the same token, Trump supporters, Republicans, and senators are listed.
I better let you guys go. I don't want to bore you to death, you see.
Thank you for joining us and keep listening.
Yes, I'm going to go search for that video.
All right. Have a good day.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Now, the thing is, I got regular Trump, regular Jehovah's Witnesses coming to my house now and then.
Yeah. What about the Mormons? They're fun.
Nope, we don't have them around here.
No. We got those in Oakland from time to time. I remember this one time, and I have a policy. If you show up at the door, I'll be polite, I'll be blunt, and I'm not going to take your literature. That's kind of my policy.
Yeah, but they support polygamy, multiple wives.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Could be a good thing.
Venison, can you handle one woman?
Yeah, really.
That was kind of my point.
Yeah. I mean, Brian, you have one wife. You think you can handle two of those?
Well, like in some other countries, the women have to be put in their place, and you can do whatever you want with them.
See, those are the countries that can handle polygamy. But you got to be completely fucking evil to stand a chance. No.
But the mainstream Mormon religion has said, "Oh no, we're not going to do polygamy."
Right? Yeah.
Instead, what they'll do is serial marriage.
Yeah. But going back to the Mormons, I remember one time I'm living in Oakland, and knock comes on the door, and I open up the door, and these two lovely young ladies are there at my door. Hello, we're from the Mormon Church, and they're so friendly and perky and smiles, and you know, I couldn't slam the door in their face. And here's the thing: we had already been visited by Mormons, and Kristen will take the literature. I don't take the literature. Kristen takes the literature, and that's perfectly fine.
Well, you had room in your recycling bin, didn't you?
Yeah, but they gave us
no problem.
They gave us a nice thick hardcover edition of the Book of Mormon. It looked nice on the coffee table.
They even gave you the book?
They gave us the book.
Wow, that's generous.
Yeah. They liked Kristen.
Is that a Broadway show?
What? Yeah, that is a Broadway show, not approved by the actual Mormon Church. But yeah, so they came and they're like, we're at the Mormon Church and we'd like to give you. I'm like, hey, I think we already have that. Yeah, Kristen, you already got a Book of Mormon, right? Yeah. Some old guy. Oh, we already. Oh, you do? Oh, that's my favorite book.
Figures.
I'm not exaggerating. And I was like, really? Like a little sarcastically, but they didn't pick up on the sarcasm. Yes, really, it's my favorite. Like they were so excited that I had a Book of Mormon in my apartment, but they wanted to give me some supplementary literature, and I said, "Oh no, thank you. We're good." And
have a Jersey guy talk to them. We know sarcasm.
You know, I don't want to waste your time. You go take that, give that to someone else, and I'll read it, because I can tell you right now, I'm not going to read it. Oh, well, why not? Oh, but maybe you will. Yeah. No, thank you very much, ladies, but you have a nice day. Oh, okay, you too, bye. But it was just so cute, the whole, that's my favorite book. Like she was so excited for me. I'm
excited too. See, I got some of that East Coast sarcasm as well.
Yeah,
and I know how to deliver it.
It was a little bizarre how excited she got over me owning a Book of Mormon.
I'm so excited.
Anyways, I want to play one more Budweiser commercial. This is probably my favorite Bud Light commercial.
Oh.
And we got to still talk about the Puppy Bowl, but that was a fun diversion.
Oh yeah, they're going to bring up another Budweiser commercial after you do this.
That was the wrong screen. I want to share that screen. Yeah, this is my favorite Bud Light commercial.
Why don't you get us something to cool this fire down?
I got just the thing.
Oh, he's doing good. He is in. He is in. Do a little victory dance.
I got too low for that fire. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. That's not that bad.
Now then, my favorite Bud Light commercial, or Bud commercial in general, was it started out with the with the horses and the in the wagon, and they went traveling, and and they ended up in New York City on the Brooklyn side, and they stopped, and the horses kneeled in tribute to 9/11. It's only shown once, but that was the most incredible thing they ever done. It actually brought a tear to my eye. And I was like, wow. But they decided to show it only once because they didn't want to profit on it.
Right. And we found it here on YouTube. And we hitched up the Clydesdales to the wagon. They're
going to
running
the snow.
out. Yeah. Crossing the bridge.
Brooklyn Bridge, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Past the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, they're doing a little kneel.
Or a head bow, however you want to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Kind of mimicking the motions of a kneel.
And then they have a badge with the lights that go up from, where the tower stood.
Yeah. Another
That was wow.
Pepsi's had some good Super Bowl commercials. Remember the "You're Cheating Heart" Pepsi commercial?
Oh, the real sound the best.
Oh, this isn't working. Let's try this. Why is this not working?
It's working. Oh, that green slime across it.
It's not supposed to be green. What the? The preview looks all right, and then it. Let's try refresh. Let's. The heck, man!
Oh, wow, that's bizarre.
Yeah, and I've brought up different versions of the ad, but they're all going green. Huh. Well, we were going to show some more commercials.
Oh, well, I guess YouTube told us that no, that's enough.
YouTube said no.
Doritos is the best, especially the one with the dog.
Oh yeah, the dog. You didn't see nothing.
I love that one.
Anyways, let's talk about the Puppy Bowl, the real big game of the day.
Yes.
So this was Puppy Bowl, I think, like 14, and every year, I mean, the premise of the Puppy Bowl was great from the start. Get a bunch of puppies playing with puppy toys, and make it like it's a mock football game with a little mini football stadium. I actually have. They put out in past years the DVD of the Puppy Bowl, and some of them are more abundant than others, and some of them are real expensive to find used copies because they're scarce, and some of them are real cheap because they're plentiful. And it happened to be the first Puppy Bowl I saw was Dune turned me on to the Puppy Bowl because we were doing a show on Sunday. We used to do shows on Sunday back in the day when I was in Maine with the Amateur Hour. And I had this All-in-Wonder Pro AGP slot TV tuner video card. I loved that card. I was so pissed.
It was excellent. I had that card too.
I was so pissed when they phased AGP ports out of motherboards, and I couldn't buy a new motherboard that would let me use that card. And by then, like a new TV tuner card would have been, I paid a lot of money for that card. I didn't want to pay that all over again. And I was pissed. I was pissed. I lost my TV tuner because I that was convenient to bring it up. And so we brought up we were watching the Super Bowl in the background while doing the show. At some point, we're like, well, what else is on? What do you put on when you're going up against the Super Bowl and you're probably not going to have a lot of viewers? And so Dune said, well, you can always watch the Puppy Bowl. And so that was when I first found that. And that was Puppy Bowl 3, which happened to be available like real cheap off Amazon. I think I bought this like a year ago or so. And Puppy Bowl 3, that was a good year. And we'll just to give you an idea what the Puppy Bowl used to be like.
They're all cute.
The Puppy Bowl has changed a lot over the years. It's not as it used to be simpler. It used to be it was just this football field pen and let loose puppies. And there was some announcing, but it wasn't all covered. You didn't have the bird tweeting. You didn't have the cheerleaders. If we skip ahead a little bit here, you just got to have silly music with the cheering sound effect. And it's just puppies playing for 2 hours.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
It's so adorable.
but now they have names and stats for every contender, and they have the teams, the Team Rough and Team Fluff. And I mean, they go into the backstories and the training, and they have, you know, the announcers and the commentators and MVPs. I mean, they've, you know, every year they found a way to get more into the theme. And, you know, I feel like I miss the days of just putting puppies out in the field and watching them run around. And
they're still doing that. They're just adding extra audio fluff.
But they're interrupting it with fluff, and it's getting to be that the ratio of fluff to puppy
all this announcements and stuff.
Right. I mean, here it's
You just want to see puppies. Don't give me any.
Yeah.
Turn your volume. Hit the mute button.
I don't know. It's. I mean, I like the idea of getting into it a little bit more, but I feel like maybe we've passed that point. I think Puppy Bowl has surpassed its peak, and now we have a little bit of ref play. But
puts the dog back into the ring.
Yeah. He just swapping out a puppy.
Oh, I see. He's changing players, as it were.
Yeah.
Oops, looks like this dog wants to hump the other one.
Yeah, it looked like it might go that way. But it didn't. There's some sniffing going on here, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do this one. We could do this one. And then the other one goes, and I'm going to do this other one.
Oh, there's some...
Let's see, jam my nose in the ass.
Of course, that's where the nose goes. Yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, no, it was this. I mean, I'll still watch a new one every year, but I'm glad to have a DVD of at least one of the old ones. I might have to start picking up more of these. And of course, we got the Kitten halftime show. If we jump ahead a bit there, that's always fun to watch. The Kitten halftime show.
Oh, this is halftime show? They had their own?
Well, now the Hallmark's got the Kitten Bowl, and I haven't watched that yet. I'll have to watch that next year. I didn't even know what time it was on. Kristen mentioned it afterwards, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. They do that. I'll have to see if I can get a Hallmark app for the Roku stick, and if that'll let me stream it. Maybe next year we'll try to check out the Kitten Bowl. But and they had a dog bowl this year before the Puppy Bowl for, you know, to try to, because the big thing about the Puppy Bowls is they get a lot of puppies adopted doing the Puppy Bowl. And so they decided to hold a dog bowl, try to encourage people to adopt some of the dogs as well.
Right.
So that was cool.
Okay.
So yeah, Puppy Bowl. That's just all I wanted to say about it. Was I think that, you know, they've gotten away from the basics a little bit too much, but I'll still watch it.
Oh, puppies!
Yeah, you, Brian.
Oh, kittens.
You're more into the Kitten Bowl or the Puppy Bowl?
Yeah, either. I don't care.
Now, did Nick give you an invite to come over and watch the Puppy Bowl over at his place?
No.
Or the Kitten Bowl? I mean, he'd be the Kitten Bowl.
Yeah, he would totally be the Kitten Bowl.
Yeah. No, he's not going to invite you over to watch the game. I mean, who cares about the game? But he might invite you over to watch the Kitten Bowl.
What do you mean, who cares about the game?
Hey, none of our teams were in it.
Yeah, but
that's right.
Close.
There was no Giants.
Yeah, but with Philadelphia, the state next door, close enough.
Yeah, no, they're a rival.
Yeah, but they're a rival. But the Patriots were bigger rivals.
Yeah, this was basically to pick which rival you hate the least, is what it was. Of course, me, I'm right in the middle of Patriot country, so of course I'm rooting for the Eagles. But
like in this area, we have the Raiders and the 49ers.
Right.
If either team gets into the Super Bowl, you're rooting for that team, even though those are rival teams. Granted, they're in different conferences, but that's okay.
They're from California,
and they're relatively local. I mean, hey,
yeah,
no big deal.
Yeah.
That's right.
Free love.
No,
this is Northern California.
I ain't rooting for the Patriots. I was rooting for the Eagles, but I didn't really care.
Now, if the Patriots playing 49ers,
after all, you are closer to Philly, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, if the Patriots were playing 49ers, of course we're going to go for the Patriots.
No, fuck no. Root for the 49ers.
No.
San Francisco. San Francisco.
Because Johnny, you live closer to San Francisco than you do to Philly.
If I was going to root for where I live closer to, I would be rooting Patriots.
I know. I was just trying to pull you in that direction.
Yeah. No. You know what you got to like about the 49ers, though, is that they had a coach that regularly appeared on episodes of David Letterman, and that was always great fun when Letterman would have Mike. What's his name? That was always here. You remember you used to watch this ever, Brian? You watch Letterman?
Oh yeah, I would watch Letterman.
Yeah. For a while, every now and then he would have a running joke that would make no sense, and those were my favorites. And here we go.
Crystal is here, Mike.
Hi, Coach. I was a big fan when you played with the Bears. What did you think about the Giants' play calling yesterday? Why did they use Brandon Jacobs more than they did?
Well, I'm not a doctor.
Right.
But I would have gone 888. Second sound. And don't let 97 Coffee House. Dexter.
You know what he's...
Don't let him Coffee House.
Right. Do you know what that is? Bill?
Damn it, blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
Right.
Whistle.
Okay.
Sleep at night.
Right.
Scream, sleep at night.
Right. Billy,
sleep at night. Blow the whistle.
Yeah. Did it make any sense?
Yeah, total.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
He made multiple appearances.
I never saw him. In fact, I don't even know who that guy is. And why did they say Bears?
Right. We're not looking for a stevedore. We're not looking for an orthodontist. We're looking for a football player.
Right. Good. If you had to predict now, what are you looking for a season? Playoffs? You got a playoff team for next year? You got a playoff team next year, Coach?
Well, we got to hire a couple kids, but they got to come around.
Right.
You need a kid with a motor.
Kid with a motor, sure.
You don't need a kid with a distributor cap.
No.
You don't need a kid with an alternator.
Right.
You need a kid with a motor.
Motor, yeah. Coach, are you all right?
Let me just say one thing.
Yeah.
We had to iron a kid. Last year.
Right.
Last year he played with his hand in the dirt.
Played with his head in the dirt, sure.
His hand in the dirt.
Oh, hand.
You got to listen to the coach.
I'm sorry,
Coach. If you don't listen to the coach,
I was thinking
I'll
maybe
get in your ear hole.
That's totally weird.
Yeah. Well, that was what Letterman was good for. The running jokes that were kind of odd and he didn't quite make sense.
I never saw that. Watching that much. But yeah, I'd watch it.
I didn't like Letterman.
I love.
He always seemed too stiff, too bored up his ass to make.
Well, he was a weatherman. Give the guy a break, right?
No, he was pretty. No. He was weird in his unique way. I like the weirdness of Letterman. He's got a weird, quirky thing. I like that.
Yeah. And I think he took a lot from Johnny Carson.
Yeah, he was the true successor to Carson.
Yeah,
it wasn't Leno. It wasn't Leno. It was Letterman.
Yeah.
But I don't know that there's a true successor to Letterman. I mean,
I like Craig Ferguson better.
Yeah, he's off of late night now, right?
Yeah.
I liked him
long ago.
Yeah, although I'm okay with Seth Meyer. At some point, they're going to recognize what he's capable of.
Colbert's doing pretty good, but
he's doing a lot better than I thought he would.
What's Colbert going to do when a Democrat gets into the White House, though? That's the real question.
Oh, he picks on everybody.
He picks on Trump.
But that's the interesting thing. What will he do when the Democrats? Then he'll be like the old Colbert, right? He'll play the opposite side.
Well, he always
pretends to be a conservative.
Well, he can't play that role anymore because that role is property of Comedy Central, and he has flirted with that from time to time.
Yeah,
sure, but he would come up with another character.
I mean, he'll still
conservative.
But is he going to continue to harp on the conservatives with a very partisan political agenda on his late night show?
If the Democrats get into the White House, the conservatives will still be, shall we say, gnawing at him.
Well,
he'll have material like he had when he did the old Colbert character.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I did not expect Colbert to make a show as political as he did, because generally in late night TV, your Carsons, your Letterman, your Leno, you know, they wanted to appeal to all of America. You don't want to isolate and chase off half your potential audience by picking a side and being
only 37%.
Letterman came the closest to doing it, because Letterman always said he was an independent, but it was pretty easy to figure out his leanings were a little left.
Sure.
But he didn't play it up enough that, he still, got away with that.
But in this case, can you blame him?
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Not long after 9/11, Dennis Miller was doing a lot of political jokes, and he would make fun of Democrats and Republicans, and I liked what he would do. But sometime after 9/11, he announced he would no longer do jokes about Bush. And it's like, so you don't want to do comedy anymore. That's fine.
I mean,
and everything he does now really sucks when he labels it as comedy.
And Bush was low-hanging fruit. I mean, it was...
everything, it wrote itself.
It did.
Not as easy as Trump.
No, it was... Well, I mean, Obama's win was a bad for late night. Letterman lost a lot of his, classic roots. Although the one cool thing he did was the cool, not cool, where he was comparing, look at Obama playing basketball, looking like a real athlete, and then look at Bush not being able to bounce a basketball properly off the floor.
Right.
Cool, not cool. But you can only get away with that for so long.
But the conservatives would call that racist.
Whatever. I don't care.
Now, but then again, we can talk about people like that. How about Jon Stewart?
We need him.
Oh,
he retired
he
too
went
soon.
off on them.
We really need Jon Stewart to stay in the game for another 10 years. We need him back.
Oh my God!
Right.
But the thing
he
is,
did two things that were fucking awesome.
Colbert made his career off of pretending to be a conservative talk pundit, and he but you recognize that there was a real talent for comedy there. So when he came to CBS to be Letterman's successor, my expectations were it's going to be interesting to see him try to take on a more traditional late night role. And so it surprised me that he just went in there, bam, right for the Republicans. And it was a bold move. It was a risky move.
And I can see the reason for it.
And it paid off. And he got lucky.
Yeah.
Trump's win. The only good thing about Trump's win is that it's been the best thing to happen to Colbert's career. If Hillary won,
all the comedians,
he would have been just a regular comedian, and we wouldn't have known what to do with it.
Or well, if he continued this shtick with a Democrat in the White House, I don't think it would. we're not as fired up to care about that, and half of America doesn't even want to tune into him. I think the reason this is working is because he just happened to land the job in the right climate for it.
Yeah,
I don't think and that's why I question the longevity of his show.
Seen the money shots.
What's going to happen when Trump's gone? What's Colbert going to do? And Colbert should be worried about that if he's not, but hopefully he is, because that means he'll think of something that'll come up with something. But he needs to be thinking about that.
I'm sure he is.
He's a professional.
Mm-hmm. Can't believe it. So it's just John Stewart said, "Oh my God, that was awesome." Damn, I can't remember the exact one. Like I said, there are two of them that he did. One was against Republicans in general, but the last real rebuttal he did on Colbert was fucking awesome. It was right on point, and it was like, whoa. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, well. Anyways,
do you think that Colbert will play the "I'm running for president" act again?
I don't know. I mean, no one's going to take him seriously if he does, because we all know he's not going to.
Well, see, the thing that I thought was kind of strange is that, yeah, okay, you can play that, although Pat Paulson ran for president.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And he kind of stuck like it was true, although everybody knew that it wasn't. Right? That was like a joke where Colbert tried to make it seem real, even though it wasn't.
Right. Well, but then again, that was Colbert's stick in the day, was to make his whole show like it was real, and it wasn't.
Right.
But anyways, I think we've exhausted this topic. So let's talk about houses.
Yes, houses.
Yes. So I got to do grown-up stuff this past weekend.
You did.
And I looked at a house, and it's a total dump. There's no way in hell I'd ever buy it. But I went and I looked at a house. So
you got a power drill, right? You got your first step.
All right,
fix it.
Let's talk about this house.
Yes.
All right. So there's we walked into the house. The place is kind of a dump, not well kept up. Stuff still in the house. It all has to get removed. But it was advertised as a 4-bedroom house for like $165,000, and that's many bedrooms, that price. So you walk in, it's kind of a family room, living room area. Go in, there's a kitchen, and off to the side of the kitchen is one of the 4 bedrooms. So that's kind of weird that one of the bedrooms is a downstairs bedroom off the kitchen.
Yeah.
And off of that bedroom is the one and only bathroom in the house.
What?
So to get to that bathroom, you have to go through that bedroom?
Right, which means you don't really want to use that as a bedroom. And the bathroom had, like, you had to shimmy past a wall or something. I didn't even see the tub. Kristen went and saw the tub and took some pictures of the horror show that was. The bathroom needed some serious work, but the one thing I liked about this house was that the TP holder had antlers.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I did ask, does the house come with the antler TP holder? And he said all things are negotiable.
Right.
There is, at this point, it was well established.
Now, was there a renter in the house?
There's supposedly no one living in the house right now. It's an estate sale, which means someone.
Grandma croaked or something.
Right. And speaking of croaking, there were live frogs in the kitchen in a aquarium type thing, which makes you wonder, is someone checking in regularly to feed them? Because they said no one's living here. And yet there's all kinds
of... That's right, the frogs would croak if they didn't feed them.
Right. So I don't know what the deal is with this house, but I think someone died. And all I know is it's an estate sale.
Do they have rules in Massachusetts about disclosures if someone died in the house?
Not that I know of.
Because California does.
Well, I don't really care about that. I care more. I care more about the next part. So we go down the stairs, check out the basement.
Yes.
And
Medicine's room.
Right away, you see drip coming from one of the pipes. It goes, well, obviously, there's going to be some plumbing work that needs to be done here. Take care of that. These pipes here that are wrapped up, they're probably wrapped up because they're asbestos. The types of
how old is the house? Do you know?
Too old. I don't know. I'd have to pull it up. I don't care enough to. The fuses are not up to code anymore, so that would all need to be
screw-in fuses.
All I know is that I would not be able to get insured unless I replace that. And who knows what other electric work needs to be done in the house. You need to get a contractor to come in and start quoting things. There are cracks in the foundation, so that's going to need to be dealt with. Not to mention the fact that to make this house livable, you're going to want to move some walls and rearrange some things. And this house needed to be basically you could put 150 into the house and then take out $100,000 construction loan to fix up the house.
Right. That's perfect for a episode of Flip or Flop.
Yeah. This house could be flipped, or if you want to make your own house. I mean,
why is getting close to that?
So, your house needs some work.
Your plumbing.
Any evidence that the roof leaked or anything like that?
I didn't. Before I even had a chance to ask about that, I knew I wasn't buying this house. So
So you were out of there.
Yeah. We the thing is that I told you about how I got to fire the last real estate agent, basically telling him fuck off. And this guy was very friendly, and I stayed to talk to him because I was more interested in the process than the house. So basically, once I realized that I really didn't like the antlers enough to deal with the rest of the house, conversation more turned into the process and where to go from here. More of that than the actual house. He had his finance guy meet him there. And he sat down and told us about all he knows about financing and whatnot. And we talked some options there. And so they kind of getting a feel for my budget and what's going on there and where I'm looking, and I'm getting a feel for how they work. They seem like nice, honest people, but I've got my eye on them. So we'll line up another house to look at maybe next weekend, and just keep going until I find something that looks right.
See, a good realtor, and so far it sounds like you don't want a guy that's pushing a house on you that you don't like.
Yeah.
You want a realtor that kind of understands what you like and you don't like, what you'll go for and what you won't go for. So this was, like, for him, a first house that showed you, and he probably got a good idea there was a lot of shit that you wouldn't put up with.
Right. Well, I mean, I was asking questions about like what would it take to, because I'm open to all things right now. I was pretty sure I wasn't buying this, but it's like, all right, let's look at how this would work. I mean, because a fixer-upper is a way to get a better deal on a house, but then that means you got to put more money into it. And is that And he kind of said,
ready to hire a contractor or do the work yourself? Or
well, I'm not qualified for fixing the foundation of a house and putting in the new electrical. And I don't know, maybe we fly Dune out for a week or two and put him to work.
Right? Is he licensed to a licensed contractor?
He's got a scaffolding.
Oh well,
that's all we need to know.
He could rebuild the chimney even.
There you go. Exactly.
Totally, you got the right guy right there, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's
actually. I was just before the pre-show. I was watching this video on Facebook. It ran for about 5 minutes long, and it was just a series of clips of trees that would be felled. And a lot of them would be hitting a house, a car, or the guy's topping the tree off and he falls out of the tree.
Nice.
Just disaster after disaster. And my comment was 2 words: insured and bonded.
Don't talk about the tree. Let's look at that one in the backyard.
Pretty soon that won't be your problem, will it?
So, anyways, that was my house adventure. So I got to see and he pretty much kind of said early on, before I even, because I was asking questions about what it would take to fix up this house, or how I would go about this, and how the financing would work, and all that. And he was answering the questions, and he kind of off the bat was kind of saying, well, I mean, you could buy this house for 150, spend 100,000 in construction loans, or you could buy something for 250 that's already fixed up. And I'm like, okay, well, what could you show me like that?
Right.
But then again, was he trying to steer me there? Is he using this as an opportunity to make himself look honest? Because, he pointed out the fact that, he didn't hide the leak or the electrical issues or the foundation.
And
cracks.
he shouldn't. He should not. Absolutely. If he's trying to hide something, then you don't want that guy.
Right. But
he wants to you want to even look better. He looks better if you go on in the basement and he goes, oh yeah, this furnace or whatever looks terrible.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, and it's just, he seems like a good guy, and he's probably honest.
Yeah.
But trust no one. Keep an eye on everything, because the thing is is this an act? Be overly honest on the first house. And
I mean, the guy's got to be a salesman, and also you find out. Okay, so him, what realtor company he works for. Was his company or himself listing the house?
I don't know.
Because you can see all of that data is right up available up front. Even the sign posted in front of the house will say who's listing it.
I wasn't paying attention to that. I was mesmerized by the antlers on the TP holder.
Or if you go into the Zillow listing, it will show who lists it.
All right, let's pull this up.
The point being, unless you really like that house and he lists it, that would be the only time that you should be interested in it. Like, wow, this is your listing? Oh, yeah, this does look really nice. And he's not going to hide anything, because if it comes off, it'll go back on him.
Ooh, this thing. I should list every
here we go.
Thing about this house.
Here's the house. And
that's a beautiful orange color.
It's red, more like a red. It's got 2 driveways.
Nice. Share?
No, it's got 2. Okay. It's got its own driveways on either side of the house, which is interesting. Yeah. This is the kitchen. A little narrow, but it's
kind of a galley.
Yeah, and those cabinets, the handles are falling off. That needs to be redone.
You got the power drill.
Yeah. I mean, that
I think you can handle that.
So this is another angle of the kitchen, and this door over here goes to the downstairs bedroom, which only through there can you get to the bathroom. They conveniently left out any pictures of the bathroom. And over here is the living room area, and stairs to go to the upstairs.
Big screen TV not included. Yeah.
Oh no, all things negotiable.
Well, but not included.
No, not included, but they are negotiable.
Sure.
I'm taking my TV.
So here's this is the downstairs bedroom.
Is that a toolbox?
Yeah, it was a toolbox. Oh, there's no
In a
pictures of the
bedroom?
upstairs bedrooms. Well, that was the bedroom that was off the kitchen. So, it was. But the point was, who's listing it? Let's see. Does it say? Oh, by Remax, and I think the guy that I dealt with has his own company though.
Okay, and then sometimes they'll list the names there. I can't. I see faces, but I can't see names.
This guy here is the guy I dealt with.
Yeah,
but his name's Bill. And this is his information.
All right, but he is actually listed as one of the realtors on Zillow.
He is listed on Zillow.
It's possible that I'm not sure if he can add his name.
I don't know how that works, and I don't know how different things work. I don't know how this all works, but it's been on the market for a while, and I could see why. Yeah. And they pretty much said that it's not going to move. I think they kind of got the feeling like it's more of a 150,000, like 149 would be a better price to list it for.
Mine's only 109.
And I'm like, well, would they accept an offer like that? He goes, oh, probably. No one's offered that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't think they've gotten any offers.
Now, I was watching an episode. Well, I didn't watch it. I watched the beginning of it. There was a recent episode of House Hunters, and they were in the Boston area, and this couple was looking at a house on the beach. And if I remember correctly, the number was somewhere between something between 250 and 300,000 on the beach. Hot damn!
That's not bad.
I don't know what the commuting like from where you work to the beaches near Boston. I totally looked into it.
Huh.
Nor'easters,
yes, that's true.
Well, there is that, wear and tear and insurance and all that to consider.
Well, I mean, everything, of course, absolutely, but at least you kind of look at it. That's my only point.
I think this is the next one that I've suggested looking at. Is this one here, and we might go this weekend.
After all, out here, the house that we really like, it's not on a beach, it overlooks the ocean. Last time it sold, it went for $8 million. Okay, that's a little bit above our budget.
A little bit.
You think so?
Well, the last time you were looking at a house and everything you wanted that was a little bit above your budget, you bought it.
Well, we put an offer in it, it was accepted, and because there were some strange issues with it that we couldn't accept, that was enough for us to back out of it.
You backed
earthquakes.
Yeah.
Oh,
earthquakes, fires, landslides.
No, I thought the house that you ended up getting at Pacific Grove was like the perfect house, and you ended up, but it wasn't the price you were looking for, and then you ended up paying it because it was perfect.
No, but the one that we have,
right?
No, we didn't pay that much for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we did look at one about a year ago. We looked at this house that was kind of near the downtown and closer to the beach. That went for $1.2 million. So we said, what the hell, let's go for it.
Yeah, why not? You only live once.
We got off the deal. We said, no, we're not going to do it.
I guess
there was a water issue because they count number of faucets. And this had more faucets than was allowed.
Now,
can we get a variance? And they says, well, we're not going to do that.
So does that mean if Farrah Fawcett comes to stay at your place for the weekend, you have to take one of the faucets off of your sink while she's staying?
Or we have to board up the bathtub.
Okay.
Listen to this guy, Mr. First World. $1.2 million. What the fuck?
Well, that's California. That's what shit goes for out here on the beach. Or near the beach.
For the fact that you got money to do that.
Oh, no. Let's get this clear. His wife has money.
Oh. Ooh, a sugar mama.
I'm sorry. Should I have not said that?
Well,
sugar mama.
Did you see the drawing now? Well, it's that she worked for it. She didn't inherit it.
Oh no! She did work for it. She's
actually, I'm amused that asshole Stephen Miller, who works in the White House, made the statement that, well, Trump is a self-made billionaire.
Bullshit.
Exactly. That's a fucking lie.
Of course it is. He normally does.
From what I hear, he inherited $8 billion, and now he's worth like $3.5 billion. So is the first billion that you lose the hardest?
He's been through bankruptcies 4 times.
He's not a very good businessman. He's not a very savvy.
Not at all.
Anyone that's studied and analyzed what he's done, he's not actually done that great.
And he's bankrupting the country.
Why do you think he doesn't disclose his tax returns? Because it would show how bad he is at it.
Exactly.
And how much you lie on that.
Nobody cares about that anyway.
Oh yeah, nobody cares. Of course.
Right.
Yeah. Just like nobody cared about the birth certificate thing.
That's right.
Except 37%ers.
But we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just point that out.
Of course, Obama was a Muslim and Trump is a Christian. Isn't that funny?
That's hilarious. Trump a Christian.
Yes.
I don't understand how the conservative Christian right have given Trump a pass on that.
Statement. Oh yeah, he's a work in progress. Seriously,
it takes a special level of hypocrisy to give him a pass.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, now judge not lest he be judged, but let's face it, conservative Christian right, they pick a side. They pick the guy that they think embodies their values. Trump, he's not that guy.
Oh, absolutely. He's totally the wrong guy.
So,
Alexa came up again. Hi, Alexa.
You want to talk about birther thing about Obama being a Kenyan? This was a meme that was thrown out there. This is kind of wild, and it's really fucked up. And it shows a kid that pretty much does look like him. Donald Trump was born in a Muslim family in Shawwal Valley, north of Waziristan, on June 14, 1946. Original name was Dawood Ibrahim Khan. He studied in the madrasa in South Waziristan. His parents were killed in an accident in 1954. Captain Stockdale, a retired British Indian Army officer, brought him to England in 1955, and later a couple from Queens, New York, by the name of Fred and Mary Trump, adopted him and called him Donald.
Well, has anyone really seen Donald Trump's birth certificate, the long form? Have we verified this?
I thought this was hysterical.
Has Skylark been retweeting you again? I had to mute Skylark today. He retweeted like 50 things in a row, and I was just like, once I got to the third one, I was like, no.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at it like,
we're not doing this. Because Skylark goes with the pro-Trump conspiracy theories. and I'm just not.
Oh yeah, he totally pro Trump.
So what you do is you say, "Hey, tweet about kittens."
Yeah. I already got plenty of accounts for that. No, but anyways, I did want to talk about I've talked a little bit about this, and so yeah, if Hardy is listening, I still want to just let him know. Hey, Hardy, we want to know all about your favorite breakfast cereal preferences. So please do come on the show and talk with us. I promise that I won't ask you any questions about the residents. Venison, on the other hand.
Well, not many questions.
Okay. Now, have you followed up and checked out Hardy Fox's website?
No.
Well, he's come out and admitted it, that he was the music writer of the residents. And it's been interesting. What's really interesting, though, is the bonus tracks on the which you could buy, the preserved edition of Meet the Residents and Third Reich and Roll, which are 2-disc editions of each album with lots of bonus tracks, which really some of them kind of get into the works in progress that, for example, Meet the Residents starts with like a series of 6 songs that just kind of seem right from one into the other, and like one of them is called Breath and Length, and it's interesting because you can hear how they play with using different sound effects, kind of unusual sound effects along with the music here. I mean, they kind of got this running bass riff that goes, this kind of dark sounding bass riff, and some percussion sounds, and it's like we got some interesting sounds that are being used here. And I don't quite know how they make all these sounds. We got some reverby vocals. So you can see they had fun experimenting with different sounds that they could create to build interesting sound collages out of, I guess. Well, they included an earlier version of this song when they were playing around, and I thought it was really interesting to hear what the song, with some of the earlier things they tried. I mean, here you kind of got the rhythm, but you don't have that dark bass sound, kind of. But you got some of the sound effects coming in here. Very different, but the same idea. So it's really interesting to see how they kind of are playing around with this, and they ended up someplace a little different. That's the cool thing about bonus tracks, is you can kind of see that, they didn't start right with that idea. That idea evolved from somewhere else. I mean, you got some of the elements, you got some of the sounds, but it's not quite there. What do you think, Brian?
Interesting. Yes.
I think it's just the residents being the residents.
And what kind of breakfast cereal do you think you should eat when listening to this?
Grape nuts.
Oh, good. I was in a different direction. Cocoa Puffs is my thought.
Cocoa Puffs.
Or Cocoa Puffs.
I'm going to go with the Cocoa Puffs because grape nuts, I've had my quota of gravel. So
right. Grape nuts.
Grape nuts. They should not be allowed to call that grape nuts. There are no grapes or nuts in there. I don't understand grape. My dad once bought a box of grape nuts, and you see the commercials on TV, and they talk about it like it's a good thing. And so you figure, and you know me, I'm all for trying new things, especially in the world of breakfast cereals. And even though, so I'm like grape nut. And first of all, I'm expecting some kind of a nut cluster raisin type of cereal because grapes shrivel to raisins and nuts are nuts. So you figure there's got to be some kind of nutty raisin maybe type of cereal. And so I get my bowl, and I get my spoon, and I get the milk out, 2%. We grew up with 2%. And pour this big old bowl of cereal, and I dump a bunch of milk on it, and I take my first bite, and I just kind of... Ew. The hell is this?
I like Crunch for breakfast.
I like Crunch, but this was not...
Yes.
You've had grape nuts then, Brian.
In college, I had a girlfriend that would eat yogurt. Kind of before yogurt got really whatever. And she wouldn't get any she'd just get plain.
God.
And then add granola to it. That's like eating sawdust and wallpaper paste.
Yeah, that's quite spot on, actually. So have you had grape nuts, though?
Oh, at some point, sure.
Voluntarily?
To be honest, I don't recall.
It was just like, you come down in the morning and your wife goes, here's your breakfast. This is the cereal from down.
No, I don't recall when I've had them, but because it's been a long time. I probably even, maybe in college I tried it and kind of go, I don't think so.
I mean, everyone got to experiment.
Sure. Try something different.
I mean, college is the time to experiment with things like that. Drug, gay sex, grape nuts. You may as well.
What?
I think Vanessa's looking on that one.
I think grape nuts took that just a little too far.
No, I'm talking about the gay sex thing. In college?
I'm joking.
Sure you were.
I had no sex.
Well, I mean, that would be the time, I suppose.
You were with Gothard.
Not like that.
By the way, I think I found out why you muted him. I just saw this. Moon is hollow spacecraft from another solar system.
No, I didn't even get that far.
Oh my God. Something's wrong with him. He's really devolved.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
He's going for attention, right?
Oh, his latest retweets are of the fun variety. I would have read those. Aliens aren't coming, they're already here. Proof positive, Earth grows. Conspiracy of science, Earth is in fact growing part. Earth is growing. Moon is hollow, spacecraft from another solar system. Hollow Earth, the whole truth. I get it. No, it was Trump calls Democrats not applauding him on American. Retweet if you will always stand. Retweet and support General Flynn. We know the FBI and Department of Justice and others set him up. Those that colluded against him, blah, blah, blah. Boycott the Super Bowl. Obama is a total failure. Worst president ever. Yeah, these are when I'm like, okay, I don't want this shit on my Twitter feed.
Oh, yeah, worst president ever. That's why 85% of the world showed him an 85% approval rating.
On that note, it's time to put another fun-filled edition of Time Out to bed. And we do try to be educational here. We
are?
Yeah, we do. We this is
or at least fun to catchical.
Fun to catch a
whatever the
cold.
word is.
Test to catch you or what? Huh? That doesn't even. Is that a
Fun
word?
to catch a cold?
Fun to catch a cold. Yes, it's fun.
Oh,
to
did
catch
you
a
like
cold.
that? Did you like that little music video I mentioned to you on Facebook about the actual words for this orchestra? You know, and what words they really say.
Yes. Do you like my reply?
Yes. And then I replied with another one.
I didn't see the other one. I just thought you reacted to it. Yes, he showed me like the Star Wars choir lyrics being interpreted. It had to do with corn. I seem to recall.
Well,
a lot of corn,
soup cans.
Yes, and
whatever the words are in vocals.
And it sounded like that's what they were singing as I was reading.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So I sent Brian a link with the real lyrics of the WKRP closing theme.
Yes. That
bad
was good.
Tooth bar, chin up.
Right. And I responded with. You just have to look. I went to
had a lid on. Anyways, we'll have to
but I
check
was
it
trying to
out.
look for something from Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay.
Which would have been perfect, but this was another one I found. I was like, yeah, that one works.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of things working, let's.
Oh, I know. The Clash is.
The Clash.
What songs did they did?
Rock the Casbah.
That's the one. That was parodied, and that was good.
Nice. I'm gonna check that out. On that note, so Venison, what have you learned this week?
It also has a picture of Bill Gates in it.
Great. Venison, what did you learn this week?
I don't remember what we were talking about.
By the way, the actual words are "lock the taskbar."
Lock the taskbar.
That's how you get to Bill Gates.
Okay. Well, thank you, Venison.
Yeah. Like
Brian.
I said, I don't remember what we were talking about because I was drunk throughout the whole program, and
You're not anymore.
Oh, and the pup. What? Yes,
You're not drunk anymore.
Oh, he's still
drunk.
Very.
Okay.
And well, the puppy bowl is good.
Yes.
And Brian, what have you learned this week?
I learned something spiritual from that caller.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we did learn.
Just mind-blowing.
And I've learned that you really have two choices in life. Killing kids with Jesus.
Yes.
Or non-existence.
Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing. Yeah, that, okay, it looks like the Jehovah's Witnesses developed an alt-right, a more radical version.
Go figure.
Which
That's what it
sounds
is.
more,
That's totally what it is.
which sounds more terrorist. Jehovah's Witnesses have a terrorist branch now. Wonderful.
By the way, Best Buy will be ditching CDs by July of this year. However, they do have deals with distributors who carry LPs for another 2 years.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, bizarre.
What are you going to buy music in now?
You get to buy it online.
You don't. You steal it. And on that note,
right.
Thank you
Or
everyone for
download
listening.
it. Right.
Oh,
That's
Trump
what I
trying to endorse, Nazis for Congress.
David Duke.
And on that note, thank you everyone for listening, and good night.
He's KKK. Big difference. Wow, I am drunk.
No, I think you're right. Big difference, at least for you and me. Now, whether David Duke sees the difference between the KKK and Nazis, that's a different story.
Totally.